Thank you for allowing us to facilitate our peaceful protest. I just want to start with that. Our protest of Bill A8378 on November 9th. We did have a very successful event in which we were able to donate 14 bags of sneakers to the RMS PTA for their sneaker drive. So thank you for allowing that, and thank you to the community for taking part in that. There are many children that will be leaving the district. I have a few questions regarding the contracts of Dr. Adams, and I know, Mr. Middleman, you're leaving, but unfortunately for you, you're on this email. According to an email from July 8th at 9:55 a.m., Mrs. Incerillo, the secretary, sent an email with the subject, RE, more FB posts, which suggests this was an ongoing conversation. The email contained the following statement. This is the article Jackie DiLorenzo shared on that packed Facebook page. So my question is there any part of the contracts that say you are to spy on parents in their social media groups, or maybe it's part of Mrs. Incerillo's job description to spy on parents and report back to you, Dr. Adams, and you are on there too, Mr. Middleman. I mean, I don't know why you care so much. I'm just a mom with a very small voice in the community. Do you have an answer? Okay. I'm also extremely disgusted that my son was targeted in school for his mesh mask. Another FOIL revealed that he was singled out by one teacher who proceeded to complain about him while he was sitting right in front of her during extra help one morning. Instead of doing the job my tax dollars pay for, she was emailing the principal to complain about him. Another FOIL revealed that 3 hours later that morning, the superintendent, that's Dr. Adams, that's you, reached out to the New York State Department of Health stating that you desperately needed help from the Department of Health because folks are wearing mesh masks in the building, and you asked if they could trigger a fine for the district. So not only did a teacher complain about my son directly in front of him, but the principal proceeded to reach out to the superintendent instead of telling the teacher to just do her job of providing extra help. And even further, Dr. Adams, you offered up a fine for the district to the Department of Health. This chain of events is absolutely appalling. The teacher needs to be reprimanded for not doing the job my taxes paid for her to do. The principal needs to be reprimanded for not reminding her she has a job to do to leave my son alone. And the Board of Education, you need to seriously consider whether or not you are going to renew this superintendent's contract. The next thing I want to talk about, the last thing I have to talk about, I hope I can get this in, I'm going to read an email that I obtained from another FOIL in regards to an email I sent to the district on September 7th sharing a video of a nurse discussing the massive medical experiment on children. The particular email was written on September 9th by Mr. Politano-Forno. And it states, Lee, we can't insult parents. All parents have a right to their opinions and have a say in their children's education and well-being. I don't think any of us should ever joke about child protective services. It's a very sad thing to see when some children go through that the general public may never see. I have had to rush children to hospitals and arrest parents or family members of a child. I know you may have just emailed that in jest, but in reality, it really isn't even remotely comparable or something we as board members should joke about. While I respect many of your opinions on mask wearing or not, I respect Mrs. DiLorenzo, that's me, for sharing what she has shared. She is passionate about how she feels. We should be answering these parents or having someone answer them collectively. So Lee, what could you have possibly said in an email prior to that about me and or my children to warrant such a response from Ms. Napolitano-Forno? I am left assuming that you're suggesting, whether you said it in jest or not, that I be reported to CPS for advocating for my children's constitutional rights and medical freedom. Am I taking it out of context? Would you care to clarify or perhaps release the emails so that you could provide true transparency to the district? Do you have an answer for us?
No.
No answer. So then the district is left to assume that you like to talk about parents and state that they should be reported to CPS. Me and everybody else who advocates for their children's rights and their medical freedom.
If
That's
what you're
disgraceful.
making an assumption, go ahead. Make that
Assumption, then release the email. Release your email to prove that's not what you said. Have a good night.
Okay. Number 20. Number 20.
She tried to foil your email, Lee. It's completely redacted. Jackie's email, Jackie Napolitano-Forno, is completely clear. It's completely obvious you actually joked around, or whatever the hell it is, suggesting calling Child Protective Services on my sister because she sent you a video of a nurse. Are you kidding me?
I doubt I would say Child
Really?
Protective Services.
You know what? We have
I
the
know I wouldn't.
redacted email. Let it go. Unredacted. Release the email.
I don't have it.
You have it. You have it. We have a copy of it blacked out.
Can you guys just make
You
me?
can fix that.
Can you make me a copy of that? Because I'm gonna look into it.
Yep,
But
yep. We know what you said, Lee.
at least you know that
know
I
what
do
you said.
defend parents.
We know what you said, okay? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. She just has a different opinion of you. That's not a reason to call Child Protective Services. You don't call Child Protective Services because somebody is advocating for their children. That's insane. You have to be insane. And you should step down as president immediately. And every one of you board members up there should demand her removal.